Hey Doc, how's it going? Hey Doc, how's it going? I know, right? Oh, yeah, I could hit you in your last video. You're like regurgitating your guts. Alright, man. Let's get started because apparently my chat is complaining that I'm late as usual because I am historically late just to piss them off. Yo, how's it going, everyone? We are joined today by the man himself, Doc Doc, and hopefully we're gonna have a great stream today. How's it going, man?
What's going on, brother? You already know, man. There's levels to this chaos, and boy are there levels right now, man. It is I don't even know how all this happened, but we here. We here. How you been, brother?
I've been good, man. Just working, just pretty much solid for the past 4 or 5 weeks. Now it's just been mental, trying to balance work and YouTube and Twitch at the same time. It's been pretty hectic, but it's
feel you.
getting
Do you
there.
do you go live every day?
Monday to Thursday.
Monday through Thursday. Okay,
So
man.
Monday and
Okay, cool.
Wednesday I'm on Twitch. Tuesday and Thursday I'm on YouTube, and then every so often on Friday. I'm trying once a month. Basically, I do like a community night for members.
Okay. And then you heavy on on Twitter or on X.
Yeah,
I see you on there. Yeah. So I'm glad we've been able to do this. I know the people don't probably know, but you've been trying to get me on for a while, but it's just our schedules is crazy. So,
as a time zone
but
as well, right?
yeah, the time zones, yep. And then but today the stars aligned, man. I'm home from work, so here I am, and it's crazy too because there's some stuff to talk about, man. There's stuff to
There
get
is
into, man.
man. That video I watched. We're gonna get into that in a bit. I watched your reaction on that. Man, that was crazy. Some of the stuff that was coming out, that was like just mind blowing. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But before
It
we,
is oh yeah, go ahead.
I
My
was gonna
bad.
say before we
Because
get into
I'm ready. I'm that stuff is fresh on my mind. I actually just dropped another video that
I saw.
I did it last night. It popped, but I uploaded it today. And yeah, but yeah, we'll talk about it.
I
Go
was
ahead.
gonna say, what have you been playing lately? You know, what have you been getting into? Have you been playing Avowed,
Yeah,
Indiana Jones, and stuff like that, or are you doing more
yes.
PC, you know, master race stuff?
So remember, um, everything is an Xbox. So PC is still an Xbox, right? So, oh man, it's crazy, man. But yeah, I did play Indiana Jones. I beat that already. But I'm doing this thing on my channel that I call the Backlog Challenge, where I'm trying to go through my games that I have in my backlog and play them. And the rule goes like this: you can play a game, every single game that you have in your backlog, you got to play it for at least 2 hours before you decide whether or not you want to finish it or not. And it's okay if you play it for 2 hours and you decide it's not for you, you go ahead and go on to another game. But once you start a game, you finish playing through that game until that game is no longer like entertaining to you. Like if you are dreading turning on the game, that's enough. Don't play that game anymore. If you're thinking about starting another game, that's enough. Don't play that game anymore. And I've been doing that probably since January. Now, where I failed my own backlog challenge is that during this time, I put a stipulation where you're not supposed to buy any other game, you're not supposed to download any other games until you finish your backlog challenge. But that doesn't work because the Steam sales are ridiculous. And then everything that Xbox drops on Game Pass 2 is just too much, right? So I beat Indiana Jones. I was impressed by that game. I did not think that I would like that game.
It's good,
I
right?
remember watching, yeah, it's really good. I remember watching Indiana Jones when I was younger, but I never thought it was like one of those crazy, blockbuster movies to me, right? So when everybody was really excited about Indiana Jones, to me, I was like, okay, Tomb Raider-ish type game or Uncharted type game, whatever, and then they made it first person, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of gonna be weird, but no, I actually enjoyed it, right? So I finished it, liked it. The other game that I wanted to finish playing or like playing was gonna be Avowed, but on my PC, Avowed has too many crashes. It crashes sometimes. It's not running well. So for me, especially as going on PC, and one thing I learned about PC gaming is that very seldomly do you blame your hardware. If something's not running well on your PC, if something's not running well on your PC, it's just the game's not optimized. And the beauty of it is that there's so much things to play on PC that is just ridiculous. So I actually just finished Deus Ex what is it called? Human Revolution.
Yeah,
Oh my god, what a phenomenal game.
it's a good game, right?
Oh my goodness. And again, on PC playing that game at 4K high frames, it is just beautiful. So that's what I've been doing. Even though I switched over to PC, I'm still gaming a lot, and a lot of the old games to me run better. I even made a few videos talking about that, how like I could argue that some old games are better than new games now. You know what I mean? But
No,
yeah,
I,
that's
I, I
what I've been
can I
doing.
can
Yeah.
definitely agree with that. Sorry, what's wrong?
Yeah.
You said you were looking for community games, right? Fragment is coming back in 2 days.
What
Okay.
up, chat? What's up? What's up?
Sorry about that. My kid just came and asked
Oh
me
no, you
something.
good? No, you good. You good, brother.
Yeah, I've been actually just jumping around. The Steam Next Fest was on recently, so I've been trying out the indie games over there, and there's a number of Metroidvanias around at the moment that is coming from there, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
One of them is already available, and a couple of rogue games, which is really nice as well. And I've just been having a lot of fun with indie games. Indiana Jones. I think if you've seen my review or seen me talk about it online, I'm a huge fan of Indiana Jones anyway. So that was
Yeah.
my game of the year, period. But
Nice.
there was nothing that could top that last year. But this year I've just been jumping around. I've started Avowed. Still trying to find some time to invest in it because I don't like just sitting down for half an hour and playing. With a game like Avowed, you want to sit down and get a good 2-3 hours in if you're gonna sink your teeth into it.
Yeah.
And I've just not been able to find that time because I've just been shattered most of the time, really. But yeah, there's been a bunch of
How do you
games.
like it so far from what you've played of it?
I really like it. I didn't think because I'm not a Western RPG person, right? I generally
Okay.
like to play my JRPGs. I'm a JRPG person through and through.
Okay.
But this one's been really different. I've played a couple of Western RPGs before, where you go and where your choices don't really impact anything. They all kind of lead to the same place. But
Yeah.
this one felt a little different, where my choices did impact, where I was able to
Mm.
convince people, and the combat just felt really nice. I'm playing in first person with the heavy axe. Man, it is so satisfying just whacking
Yeah.
them across the face. Like there was this one
Yeah.
NPC that on the bridge in the first city that just was like trying to accuse me of stuff, and I just said, just screw it," just whacked her across the face with the hammer, and she just flew into her companion, and both of them knocked out. It was just
Yeah.
priceless. So yeah, I'm
Let me
enjoying
tell
it.
you my experience with Avowed, the little bit that I played, and it's a bummer that it's not, that it doesn't run well on my PC, because when I first played the game, probably like the first after the character creation and you're on the beach and everything, and
Hmm.
that first movement, you go and you climb up and stuff, and that first fight that you have, right?
Yep.
I remember having that fight, and I was like, oh no, this is not good. The animation didn't feel good. Like
No, I
it did
agree.
not feel good, right? And I was like, damn, what? So I remember I was talking to one of my friends, Iso Motion Gaming VR, shout out to him, and he was like, hey man, your rule is, 2 hours at least, and then you go ahead, get rid of the game or whatever. He's like, just play it for a little bit longer. And I was like, all right, sure, I'll go ahead. I played it for a little bit longer, and I still can't tell you why I actually started to like the game. I actually started to like the combat of the game too, but the animation is still horrible, right? The When you hit something, it doesn't get hit like it's realistic or anything like that, right? So, but there's a certain level of charm to the game that's like, okay, I want to see what's next. I want to see what's next, right? The problem is it just wasn't running well on my PC, so then
What weapon was you
I
using?
stopped. So it probably wasn't smart for me to do, but I had the sword and the wand, so it's two
Okay.
offensive weapons. So the whole game, I'm over there just shooting, hitting, and dodging, shooting, hitting, and dodging. You know what I mean? So that's
Yep.
the way I play the game. Very random would I pick up the shield and go from there. And I tried some of the heavy weapons, didn't like those too much. So just the sword was good. From time to time, I did like the bow and arrow too, right? So I mean, I enjoyed the game for the amount of time that I played it. But like I tell everybody on my channel too, old games are better than new games. And sometimes the reason that is because if you wait enough time, eventually they'll patch the game up and they'll fix the game. The game will eventually run better. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So for an example I'll give is Arkham Knight. People said that Arkham Knight was horrible when it dropped. I got to play it this year, Arkham Knight, and oh my god, it's a phenomenal game. Flawless, no issues. Days Gone, same thing. I played Days Gone last year, and I remember when I played that game, I was like, why are people complaining about Days Gone? And sure enough, people were telling me when it dropped, it had issues, whatever, but now it's perfect. So again, I'm gonna go for whatever's gonna run well on my current system right now. And if it doesn't run well, I'm just gonna play something else. And that's I'm telling you, bro, Chaos, that's the beautiful thing about PC. Do you have a PC?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
game on
yeah,
there a lot.
yeah. It's
Have you
it's amazing.
have you tried Nier Automata?
I have not, no.
I highly recommend it.
Okay,
One of my favorite games of all time. It
okay,
is really good. It's a game that throws pretty much every genre at you, at, from bullet hell to isometric gaming to side 2D kind of gameplay to 3D gameplay. Great music, great story. I can't
okay.
recommend it enough. And you have to complete it 3 times.
3 times.
So the first time you complete it, you kind of get to the end of the story with the first character. Then you have to start.
Okay.
It doesn't tell you this. You kind of just have to know. You have to start a new game, and then the
Okay.
new game tells you that you're about to play the game as your companion that you meet within the first half an hour of the game. And
Okay.
the sections that he kind of goes off that you don't see him, you play those sections, and then they kind of merge with the first ending, and then you play the third one with the final character to complete the game.
Okay, so it's multiple. So okay, so technically you beat the game, but you didn't beat the game
Correct, yeah.
unless you play. Okay, so it's like the only game that got me to play it like multiple times and get like play that all the difficulties and all that stuff is my favorite game of all time, which is Perfect Dark on the Nintendo 64.
Mm-hmm.
So that game I beat it on Agent, Special Agent, and Perfect Dark Agent. So like that game got me to play the game over and over again.
Yeah.
The second game to ever get me to replay the game again and do New Game Plus and actually beat New Game Plus was Starfield. Because Starfield's New Game Plus is to me is phenomenal. The way they made that transition, because now you're playing the game from a different perspective. And he knows, and you know that, and the character knows
Yeah.
that it's perspective. So the way they did that was phenomenal. You know what I mean? So
I just wish they allowed you to keep your stuff that you built, like your settlements and stuff.
yeah.
I understand why, but I kind of wish they let you keep a little more than
Yeah.
just having to just completely restart all over again. And apparently you have to complete like 10 times before you get your final upgrade as well.
Is it really?
10
I've
times.
beaten it. Three times. I've done the full playthrough, and every single time I've done different things. So like I'll go ahead and because I know certain things, I'm like, all right, I saw that scenario where I picked it. I'm gonna pick this, and it's phenomenal. To me, that game still really is amazing. I wish Xbox would have dropped that one at 60. I think it would have
we're
given
going to get into that.
a lot less to complain about it. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to get into that.
Yeah, I still think it's a phenomenal game. And you said you did the settlements, like you actually build the bases and all that stuff.
Yeah, I did a bit of that just to dabble in it, and it's cool because it mines and farms materials for you while you're not actually doing it yourself. So it's like all automated, so it just keeps piling up, and I've got like massive crates. But the moment you go for Unity, that's it; it all disappears, and you kind of have to rebuild everything from scratch.
Lose all of that.
Yeah, you lose everything. The only thing you keep is like your levels and your money, I believe. I think you lose your weapons as well. So, I mean, I think they were a bit harsh with how much you actually lose in Starfield. I mean, I get why, but I think it was a little too harsh on just how much you actually lose. But
Yeah.
so I'm
So the
actually
only
doing.
reason that didn't affect me is because I never built a settlement, and and it was crazy is there's people that spent most of the time playing Starfield just doing that. Like
Yeah.
that was enough, right? And I never dabbled into ship builder either. And there's people that spent a whole bunch of time building
Oh
ships. You
yeah,
know what I
and
mean?
they'll lose it as well. They'll lose that as well. So
Oh, you lose your ship too? You
yeah,
only take the starship with you. That's
you,
it.
you just take what they give you and your levels, and that's it.
Damn, do you lose your ships too?
Hmm.
Would you take just the starship with you then? Yeah, you do
Yeah,
take the starship with you. Okay, yeah. Damn.
that's it. So like my first playthrough, I'm collecting everything. Absolutely, I'm like doing the whole every side quest you can possibly do. I think I failed
Yeah.
like one mission somewhere along the line, but I'm kind of doing everything in my first playthrough, and then after that, like I'm only romancing one character. But once I've done that, then in the second playthrough, I'll romance another character and then just do my playthroughs in that way. Because at that point,
Yeah.
I've done all the quests and everything, and maybe I'll redo them later on my final one. But you kind of need to get to
Yeah.
Unity 10 before you settle down and become a lifer on that save
Right. I
file.
like in that universe.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
there, if you ever do play Nier Automata, at the end of the game, I'm not going to tell
Yeah.
you what happened during the credits. You're going to get asked the question, and it's a rough question that they're going to ask you. I'll be interested to see if how you answer it. Either yes, it's a yes or no answer. It's a, you know,
Okay.
it's
Have you beaten Human Revolution,
yeah,
Deus Ex?
long time
Okay.
ago.
Do you remember the question at the end that they ask you?
No, I don't. I'm afraid.
Okay, so you could either destroy the facility completely, it decimates it, and then there's no record of how to create the augmentations or any of
That's
that
what I
stuff,
picked.
right? Okay. Or you could broadcast it to humanity, and then they got to make the choice as to whether or not technology is good for them or not. But the AI is telling you that they're probably gonna go and say technology is
Man,
not
I've
good.
watched Battlestar Galactica. I destroyed it.
You destroyed it? Okay, so
I
I
seen
chose to
Battlestar
broadcast
Galactica,
it.
man. I seen Battlestar Galactica. I seen what happens within that cycle. It never ends well for humans.
Okay, so I went ahead and broadcasted it, and it gave me this movie at the end, and oh my goodness, it was so what's crazy is it was stuff that's like happening now. You know what I mean with the
Yeah,
AI. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, it was so good. It was so
yeah.
good,
Nah,
man.
I've seen too much sci-fi movies. I've seen Terminator. I've seen how this all ends, man. I see when Skynet takes over.
Yeah.
I was like,
Hey,
nope.
Chaos, we're talking too much about gaming. We got to get to these console wars. That's what the people came to see.
So I saw your video today with Bruv,
Yeah.
and
What do you think?
I think it was.
Listen, I'm okay being wrong, Chaos. I'm okay. You could tell me
No,
if
no,
Doc tripping. Doc, this is
no,
why
dude.
where you're missing it. Tell me what you think.
I was
Explain to the
talking.
people. Can you explain to the people what you saw? Because I don't know if everybody knows.
All right, so I'm not sure if anyone has actually seen the video, but essentially what Bruv was saying was that if you're on Game Pass, you deserve to be playing the worst version of Xbox games, and PlayStation players deserve and are entitled to the best version because they pay $70. That's mental. That's crazy. There is no way, there's no shot that anyone is going to sit here and tell me that that's okay. Especially when, and I agree with you with this one, because, you know, the Series X was touted as the most powerful console out there, and for the most part, it couldn't even compete with a base PS5.
Oh, Chaos, thank you. Thank you. You know they're gonna clip this.
I know they are.
But you're absolutely right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. But this is honesty here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not lying. They did promote the Xbox as the most powerful console.
Yep.
Right? And they did lose sometimes to the base PS5. Did
They
it not?
did. Quite a lot of times.
Okay. A lot of times. Okay, bro. They're gonna kill us for this one. They're gonna call us pony bots. They're gonna call.
Man, I speak the truth, man.
Listen. Here's another thing, right? So that's one of the narratives, right? I had some people come back in the comment sections telling me like, That's not what Sir Bravia meant. They're saying that what he meant was that people that bought the PS5 Pro deserve the better version because they paid more money for the Pro and it's a better console, all this other stuff, right?
No,
But I got a
he
I got a
said.
rebuttal to that too. No, I know he said I reacted to the
I
video.
know
But
he
people
said.
were trying to
He
go ahead.
said they paid $70, so they deserve a better version. And I'm like, well, what about the people on Xbox that paid $70 for it at launch? Not everyone is on Game Pass. What about those guys?
Facts. But even if they wanted to use that argument that everyone on the PS5 Pro deserves a better version, let me ask you this. Do you know why Xbox doesn't have a mid-gen refresh?
Because the Series X is supposed to be the mid-gen refresh.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, this is the chaos. This is why we had to do this. So according to Xbox, or according to Microsoft, the Series X is competing with the PS5 Pro.
Yes.
That's our mid-gen refresh that
Yes.
we got at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now things look even worse. Now things look even worse because that means that the Series S was competing with the base PS5, and then our mid-gen refresh
Refresh.
can't even compete with the base PS5, and then the PS5 Pro is getting the enhancements, and our mid-gen refresh is not. You see what I'm saying? So regardless of what narrative these Xbox fanboys want to take, it's going to be a problem, and they don't like me, Chaos, because I'm okay speaking the truth to them.
I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat, man.
Okay, speaking the truth. Yeah, so they're not gonna like it. But yes, I'm glad you were able to answer that. Yes, the Xbox Series X, Xbox told us that was our mid-gen refresh.
Yeah, because Destin was interviewing Phil, and Phil told Destin at I think it was at Gamescom or something, that the Xbox Series X is the mid-gen refresh. That's it. That's the end of the conversation.
Let me throw you something else at you. I want you to think about this.
All right.
Okay. One of the reasons why I destroyed the PS5 Pro when it came out is because everything that they showed was a minor upgrade to things that were already running on the base PS5 that people had already played. People had already played all those games, right? Remember, the fanboys on PlayStation tell you buy a PlayStation for their exclusives, so they better have played all those exclusives, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now you're gonna have to replay it again to see a little bit better, whatever, right? Okay, so that's why I crushed the PS5 Pro, right? But now, if you got a PS5 Pro, you can legitimately say, like, no, I bought a PS5 Pro to play those Xbox games that I didn't get to play before better than the people that supported the box since the beginning. That's crazy. Imagine if the roles were reversed and there was Spider-Man on the Xbox Series X that got released and we had better versions of it. Oh man, you already know people would be talking trash. It wouldn't be this talk of kumbaya and this talk of it doesn't matter if they're playing it, this and that. No.
Mate, I have never been of the. I mean, I've seen how people have pivoted, like quite crazily. As soon as Phil came out and said exclusives are bad, the narrative changed from like, the big influencers has been insane. I've always said exclusives are important. It creates competition. Competition is good for the consumer.
And that's where me and you are going to disagree. Because I've been since the beginning saying exclusives do not benefit me. It is worse that I have to buy 2 boxes. This is what I need the Xbox fan base to realize, okay? They are now sounding exactly the same way that the ponies did at the beginning of the generation. What I mean by that is they are grabbing victories that belong to Xbox and Microsoft and not to them as a gamer. The same way that the ponies used to brag about how many sales the consoles got. That doesn't benefit you as a gamer, how many sales Sony's got, any of this stuff, right? So here's the deal. The real winner in all of this, right, is Xbox. Xbox putting their games on PlayStation and PlayStation gamers actually buying it to the point that it becomes number one in pre-orders and stuff. The real winner of that is Xbox. The PlayStation fans as well, that's probably the second winner because now they only have to buy 1 box to play whatever they want. You realize that if you're a PlayStation gamer through and through, all you got to do is have patience and you're going to be able to get everything.
Yeah.
That's a win for a PlayStation gamer. What does the Xbox console gamer get out of this? Nothing.
Nothing.
So them bragging about Xbox dominating it's kind of weird because now they're changing the way that they used to talk, where Xbox gamers used to talk about the perspective from a gamer's perspective,
No,
where
the way,
we were happy that we were getting to get all these games on Game Pass and everything. But now that narrative's not the same.
see, the
So
way I
it
see
is
it,
what it is.
if you're a shareholder, it
Yeah.
benefits you because you're making bank off your shares. But if you're not, all I see is it's, having a completely negative effect on your brand because it's giving less and less reason for people to go to your platform.
And I can agree with you there. The it does make Xbox itself a little bit less enticing because you only need one box. But as a gamer, I think it benefits. The perfect scenario would have been if both of these companies just said, "Hey, you're gonna buy the way that Phil said, I want you to buy the box based on its features." Okay, that only works if both boxes are getting the same games.
There you go.
You get
But
what I'm
they're
saying?
not. But they're not doing that.
That only works. Right, exactly. That's the same way that Nvidia and AMD are competing, right? They're both competing, right? But games aren't exclusive to Nvidia cards and games aren't exclusive to AMD cards.
Correct.
No, it's just what features do you want better ray tracing? Better go Nvidia, right? Okay, so and then you saw what Nvidia's doing right now with their 50 series. It is what it is. But here's the deal, right? I saw a comment section.
Stopping from playing games.
From what did it say? What did it say?
The 50 series can't play DirectX 9 games. So
Yeah,
games
crazy.
like Arkham Knights and stuff like that, they're all gone. They're all finished. It physically can't run it because it doesn't have the hardware inside the cards to run it.
That's crazy.
The 50 series is a complete trash bin.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, I saw a comment from Gamer Live Studio. Shout out to you. I want you to see his comment because his comment says, "Doc, you got cooked by Bravia Nation," right? Here's the thing, Chaos. I was looking at the comment section of my video and his video. There's a lot of people that think that way. There's a lot of people that think that what he was saying makes complete sense. A lot of people now want to turn around and act as if we weren't comparing which consoles ran games better since the beginning of this generation. We weren't comparing that. A lot of people are acting as if we weren't comparing which consoles ran game better. See,
we were.
Yeah, we were. Of course we were.
Of course we were.
That whole video from Survivia was, the point of it was, why should I care if it's running better over there when I get to play it over here? I shouldn't care if somebody else is enjoying it better than me. But that's not what this whole generation has been about. We've been comparing. There's been charts everywhere,
dude,
time graphs and all this. So to me, it's like
they told me,
you're not gonna gaslight me with that.
They told me the best place to play Xbox games outside of PC, because PC's a different beast in itself,
right?
Is the Xbox.
That's facts.
Right? They told me that the best place to play Xbox games is on the Xbox hardware.
Facts.
And now it's not.
True.
And now it's not. And now that with the Fable delay that's happened, if that delay has happened not because of GTA 6, which I genuinely believe is because of GTA 6, but if it's happened because of the PS5 Pro, because they want to get that to release at the same time, I think I am going to feel really, really annoyed about that. Because at that point, I'm no longer a valued customer. I'm a second-rate citizen, just on outside of it. I'm not even inside the plane on that air flight. They've got me tucked into the cargo bay while PlayStation gamers are in first class. If they've delayed it for that reason, I can't accept that.
Listen, that's all facts, bro. So for me, I've been feeling like the Xbox console gamer, specifically the Series X gamer, hasn't been a priority to Xbox for a while. And I don't know how people argue this with me. They literally have commercials saying no consoles required. Clearly, right? Game Pass on PC is cheaper than Game Pass on console. I mean, I could keep going. The fact that they willingly released some of their top tier games that were supposed to be games of the generations at 30 frames, right? And then later on patched it up. That's the problem. They patched it up later on.
But Doc, that's a creative decision.
Right, a creative decision. Right, a creative decision.
That they changed their mind on 6 months later.
Bro, I got crushed on the Starfield one. I got crushed on that.
Oh, you and me both, mate.
Yeah, you could save sandwiches here and there, blah blah blah. And then finally, this is what I don't understand about the Xbox community, because the Xbox community kept getting on me saying, "Doc, if you wanted power, you should have gone to PC." Okay, I finally went to PC. Now they're mad that I did that too. I was like, you can't win. You can't win.
And look, all I've
Only
got to
thing,
say is this, and this is the argument I keep coming back to, because it's a creative decision to have it at 30 FPS, right?
yeah.
Just hear me out. Just hear my argument out.
Mm.
If Hellblade 2 is a creative decision, which is what they're saying, I mean, they were even toying about getting it to run at 24 frames, but that was more just to indicate what type of game it is, a more filmic experience rather than a, action adventure game like the first one. But if it was a creative decision to run it at 30 frames per second, why wasn't the PC version hard locked at 30? It's a creative decision, right?
It doesn't make any sense. And God forbid they drop Hellblade 2 on the PS5.
It's going to be 60
And they
FPS
patch
day
it.
one. It's going to be 60 FPS day one. I mean,
And they patch it.
you know Sea of Thieves? The community have been asking
Yeah.
for an anti-cheat for years. And they only got it because it went to PS5.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I do know that when Sea of Thieves went to PS5, they gave them better textures and better shadows and something like that. And I was like, damn, why? And then when Pentman went over there, and I get it, I know the chat's gonna be like, it's Pentman. It's the principle of the thing. That's what I said in the video against Survivor. Like I pointed out parts where Xbox has already shown us that they're gonna give PlayStation the better version of a game. So it's like, what are we doing? Like, why are we even arguing about it? But you know what? Somebody in your chat, again, you got a very smart chat. Gummy said, Doc, you're on PC now. Why are you complaining? He didn't use the word complaining about Xbox. You're absolutely right. I should give two about you guys. You're right. Because anyone that still doesn't hear what I'm saying and wants to stay over there, that's perfectly fine. It's your money. You do what you do. But I'm not going to be over there getting bamboozled. You absolutely right. You, with your smart brain, stay over there getting mollywopped by Xbox and everything that Phil says and pivoting every time Phil says something, and you go ahead and believe him. You go ahead and do that. Like what are we doing, bro? This is crazy. Hey, that's another good word. Nothing but a grifter. I don't even know what that means.
Wait, who's a grifter?
Saying that I'm a grifter.
Why?
That's okay.
Wait. Why are you a grifter?
I don't know. They would have to explain it. I don't know. Does grifter mean flip-flopping? Is that what that means?
No, it just means essentially you are trying to. Well, the actual term of grifting is to try and extort money scrupulously. But the term that the media, that's used on X at the moment is someone who's trying to stir up trouble just for the sake of it. Basically, reforge.
To try to stir up trouble just for the sake of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they think I'm not really speaking my opinions then at that point.
Essentially.
Ah, okay. A scammer. Well, this is how you can tell these people are stupid. Whoever said that then, bro, whoever said that I'm a grifter, you're an idiot then. Gamer Life Studio, yeah, you. Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you. The easiest way for me to make money on YouTube, if that's really what I wanted to do, was just to stick to Xbox and back everything that Xbox did and only talk bad about Sony. That's what I built my base on. I could have easily just stuck with that. And then if I would have done that, trust me, I would have been way better off. But every time I speak my truth, right? I come up here on the camera and I speak my opinion, sure enough, I get attacked. Now, here's the other thing. I thought grifter meant flip-flopper, but I guess it doesn't. But if it is flip-flopping, I'm going to tell you this, Chaos, between you and me. You ready?
Go for it.
I will flip-flop 1,000 times as long as it benefits me.
I mean, yeah.
If that makes sense, right? If the next gen Xbox console is the best thing since sliced bread, guess what I'll be getting?
Next gen Xbox.
Exactly. That's what these people don't make. These people don't make sense. So that's what I thought grifter meant. That's why I was like, oh, they're blaming people for changing it. Oh, okay. So grifter means like purposely saying something to stir up stuff.
Like Reforge said that Steam is anti-consumer.
I didn't even hear that one. What did he actually say?
that Steam is anti-consumer and anti-competitive.
In what context? Did he really say that?
Yeah,
I watched
100%.
brief. I don't remember. Okay, that's definitely wrong.
I mean, he said that just to basically cause a reaction and have people.
Okay.
Just I mean, there's certain things that people will say just to get clipped and deliberately, and or just to just stir stuff. You see it all the time on Xbox. People say silly things just to
Yeah.
grift and. But the the official meaning of grift has been long lost into the annals of history. But
I'm gonna have to make a whole video about that.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
That's crazy.
I'll title it "Am I a Grifter?" Because that's gonna have people comment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, Game Live Studio, I'm gonna stir up some stuff. So there you go.
But no, man,
man.
for the most part, I agree. Like, there's I've never been one to toe the company line. I remember EA at the time turned around and I was making Anthem. I was
Anthem, yeah.
I love that game. Like, even in its state it was in, I really really enjoyed it.
You liked it when it dropped?
Yeah, I enjoyed the game. And as it improved and got better, and they added more content, I even did that crazy, 50-60 hour quest line that they had. 100% of it. I really enjoyed the combat in that game and the flying and everything. But
can I tell you something about Anthem?
Yeah, go for it.
I got to play Anthem on my Xbox Series X with the 60 FPS patch. And I remember when I played Anthem, same thing. Remember, I've been saying old games are better than new games.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, Anthem was an old game. And I remember me playing Anthem thinking to myself, how did EA mess this up? Because this is a gem. I really enjoyed that game.
It's fun.
I really enjoyed Anthem.
In multiplayer, it was so good.
It's a lot of fun, yep.
I mean, we had community nights where we would have basically chat, come in and make our builds for us, for the whole team. And they used to make like the worst builds humanly, and then we'd go into the hardest setting and just cry as we tried to get through it. And it was really good fun. But I remember the global manager, because I just kept on reaching out, like, why am I being excluded? There's only like 2 or 3 content creators for this game anyway. And he openly told me. He contacted me on Discord, and he told me, I don't toe the company line. I ask the wrong questions. I say the wrong things. I don't basically make them look good. I make them look bad by asking the questions that my community wants to know. Damn. And that was why I was left out of the whole program. And honestly, I feel like the same ways with Xbox at the moment.
Oh yeah, for sure. I should have been sponsored, Chaos. I should have been sponsored. But they didn't give me nothing. I get no codes. I get nothing.
Sony give me a lot of codes though.
Sony gives you codes?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a pony bot. Hey, he's a pony. He's a grifter. He's a pony.
Man, I got my PS5 Pro down there, barely used, but it's there.
Oh my goodness! Look at this. Oh man, nobody gave me no code. Even okay, I did get Stadia for free, but that was from MM2K. Shout out to him. So he actually sent me a Stadia. He actually sent me some like Google Play money and stuff, and so I actually got to experience Stadia like free of charge. But that was because, see, the way that dude MM2K did it to me was very stand up. He heard me talking trash about cloud gaming, and he put his money where his mouth was, and he contacted me. He was like, "Hey, bro, check this out. I understand you talking trash about cloud gaming, especially xCloud. He was like, I'm gonna send you a Stadia. No, just try it out, blah, blah. Just give your honest opinion. If you don't like it, it is what it is." And I went ahead and I got that Stadia and I got to play it. And then that's when I was like all about Stadia.
It was good, right?
It's dead now. Yeah, it was really good. My whole thing with Stadia was I don't feel like they promoted it properly, and then their business strategy was weird. Like,
I mean, it's
price
Google, right?
For a game that you don't own is.
I mean, it's Google,
well,
right?
I guess you don't really own these games anyways. Yeah.
No, but
yeah,
no, I get what you mean. But going back to the point that you made about Anthem,
yeah,
how did they mess this up? The whole core of the game. When I was speaking to like the developers and stuff, the ones that actually were reaching out and talking to me, the core of the game was just broken. Like it was completely being held together by duct tape and whatnot. It
Oh, okay.
like the whole game's premise, because the game was originally supposed to be built on Unreal Engine 4, and the CEO, I can't remember his name at the time, basically was telling the producers to build it in Unreal Engine 4, but
Yeah.
they decided that they knew better and we're going to use an engine called Frostbite that isn't designed for third person gaming, but it's the one that's
Oh.
for Battlefield first person stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it had no tools, no nothing. The developers pretty much had to build the whole infrastructure from scratch, the whole health bars, everything
Yeah.
from scratch. Nothing came out of the box. Whereas with Unreal Engine, it would have been way smoother sailing, and it would have just worked so much better. But they
Damn.
thing, and the only reason that the flying is in there is because the CEO actually demanded, because BioWare actually went to them and said, "Yeah, we need to remove the flying if to get back on track," and he said, "No, that's literally the only part of the game that I actually like, so it's staying." So he's the reason that even stayed in there.
Well, I'm
BioWare
glad the
really
flying
messed
did
up.
stay though.
It's
Yeah,
good,
because
right?
that flying was I remember like flying into water, then out of bro. The game is phenomenal. I really enjoyed the game. I should play it on PC, see what it looks like on PC. Because the 60 frames per second mode on the Xbox Series X, I think is running at like 720p or something, and then like they upscale it from there. So I'll play
Yeah,
it on PC, see what it looks like. But yeah, it was.
it's
I
gorgeous
really
on
enjoyed the
PC.
game.
It's
I could
gorgeous.
see that game being a hit. But you know what? These live service games and these first person shooter games and these multiplayer games, like you never know what's gonna hit and what's not. Like my kids are really big into Rivals right now, and I play Rivals, and to me, it's okay, but I don't see the craze behind it. I don't see what's the whole point. There's only like 3 modes, right? And they crushed Halo Infinite when it came out because they didn't have enough modes. But yet this game comes out only has 3 modes and everybody's loving it, right? I
I
don't know,
mean, the only
but
reason why Halo got slaughtered is because it didn't have Slayer. Slayer is the most popular game
uh,
mode on Halo. That is the one that most people go to, and they decided that they weren't going to have a separate playlist for Slayer, and they were going to put it in a rotation. And some of the other modes just weren't as fun because people weren't
yeah.
really playing the objective, and they're quite
Oh
objective
yeah,
based. And it's not fun when people don't play the objective. You need to kind of and people just want to play Slayer. They just want to go 6v6 or whatever it is, and
yeah,
go ham against each other, team deathmatch essentially. But
yeah, yeah.
they decided that the most popular game mode in Halo, one of the most popular ones, they were gonna just not not give you the option to play it. Like that was a genius idea, I have to say.
Yeah, it's a crazy ass mistake. That's wild.
Hey Taz, thank you very
That's
much for
wild.
that £2 super chat with your testing. Keep testing.
So what do you think now? Because we know all these other new games that are announced are gonna go ahead and drop on PlayStation as well. Are they gonna enhance South of Midnight, Doom, Eternal Ages? Are they gonna enhance all these games for the PlayStation 5 Pro?
Yes,
Do you feel like now that's it just is what it is? Ain't no point in complaining about it. They've already shown their hands.
I'll complain. I don't like it because, you know, I mean, in my, where I am in my shoes, I've got a powerful PC. I've got a 3090 Ti PC.
Okay,
So
yeah.
when Hellblade came out, I went to the Xbox. It was 30 FPS. I said, "Thank you very much." Over to PC, and so I played it at 60 FPS, and it was gorgeous at 60 FPS, running it at 2K. And so
Yep.
I've got that option. I've also got the option of being able to pick between all three of them. So I guess I'm a little bit. How can I say? My skin in the game is a little less as opposed to someone who's got a single platform who picks it.
No,
But if I'm going to look at it from a person who picks it, who only plays on Xbox, I
yeah.
I, I would feel I would feel like I'm being cheated.
You see, that's interesting that you said that because I've made a few of my videos talking about this. I've said that the people that are defending Xbox the most have been PC gamers, right?
Hmm.
And it's because, I understand it now that I'm gaming on PC, because yeah, what I would typically have been upset about Xbox on the on the console side, my remedy is that I have a PC as well. And the same thing with me. Hellblade was actually the straw that broke the camel's back as to why I went ahead and bought a
I
Destiny. Was
remember.
just to play Hellblade. Yeah, just to
I,
play
I
Hellblade,
remember.
right?
I remember the whole
Yeah,
Walmart thing.
Eh, yeah, and that's the whole point, guys. That's the whole point. Like people crush me for my Walmart PC. That's the whole point. I proved the point 1,000 times. All I needed was the option. I played Hellblade at 60 frames at 1080p, and it ran perfect for me. I
Hmm.
enjoyed the game. That's all I wanted. You're gonna tell me that my Xbox Series X can't do that?
It can,
I refuse to believe it.
even if
I
it has to
refuse to
lower the
believe it.
resolution. It can.
Exactly what they refused to give us that. You know what I mean? Because here's the deal. The other thing I said was Hellblade was also releasing on the Series S. Give us the Series S version with higher FPS as an option. That's it. That's what I would have said. You know what I mean? But again, I'm not a developer, so to me, this all sounds real simple. So I went ahead and got myself the PC.
I don't think
But
it does.
what happened? No, it
Bear,
runs on the Series S.
no, Bear Wills is asking if it has a 60 FPS patch. I don't think they've released
What?
one yet for Hellblade 2.
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. They're waiting for it to drop on PS5, probably, which is gonna be crazy. But anyways, I'm not lying. But okay, so
I know
so
you're
here's
not.
the
That's
deal,
the
right?
worst part.
Yeah. So you have, like you said, now you have 3 different options to play Xbox games.
Yeah,
Actually 4, because I'm assuming you got a base PS5 as well, right?
upstairs. I gave it to my kid. I didn't sell it
Okay.
like DCG. I gave it
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah. Okay. So you got, so in your household, you got an Xbox that can play Xbox games,
I got
right? You have a Series S or an X
both.
or both. Okay, so you got the Series S and a Series X, okay?
Mhm.
Dedicated Xbox consoles. You have a PC,
Yep.
right? And then you have 2 PlayStations, one a PS5 Pro, another PS5, right?
Yeah.
In your house, right? So when I made the video saying that the worst place to play Xbox games
It's
would
an
be an
Xbox
Xbox
console.
console. Am I lying?
No,
How does that not? Why are people killing me for this?
because they don't want to
Chaos.
hear it.
Why are people?
Because they don't want to hear it. But it's the truth, and that's
Don't
what
you know
annoys.
what
And
it
that's
is?
the part that annoys me. Because I'm not a fanboy, but I am an Xbox fan. I've
Yeah.
been with Xbox since the OG,
Yeah.
and in that video that you were reacting to, where Bruv was talking about how he's just come into it and all this, he doesn't
Yeah.
know the history that we've gone through from OG to 360, the drought that was the Xbox One, to where we are now. There's a lot of history there.
You know what's crazy about that is that I don't even know all that history because I joined Xbox this generation, but I got to see it from that perspective. I was like, oh, he doesn't even know the history of even this generation. The disappointment of optimized for the Series X and S. You remember that, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
titles on games and stuff like that, right?
It's still
He
there
doesn't
for some.
even he doesn't even know that, right? So I can't fully blame him because the same thing happened to me, right? At the beginning of this generation, people be like, "You don't know what Xbox fans have gone through, this, and that." And I was like, "No, I don't." But now that I've been with Xbox this generation, I left Xbox for completely different stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's just for the promise that they gave me that the Xbox Series X was going to deliver something that it didn't deliver. But you know what? I think the person in your chat, Gummy, was correct. Why are me and you, 2 people that have the options to play the best versions of Xbox games, whether it's on a PC with a 3090? I'm assuming your 3090 is probably better than the PS5 Pro.
It is.
Yeah. So you have the option to play games way better than the PS5 Pro or than the Xbox Series X, right?
Mhm.
Why do we feel compelled to defend or to speak to the Xbox console gamers? What do you think that is? What is that drive?
For me, it's just the fact that I was promised something, and as an Xbox customer who was promised, this is the best place to play, I might have a PC, yeah, but I don't always have access to my PC, especially for me because I've got kids. They're on my PC a lot. So I'm gaming on my consoles as well. But, you know, I feel like a lot of people are just listening to the wrong people. They're kind of, how can I say it without sounding rude? I guess lemmings is the right word. They're just following, Pied Piper. That's the one.
Yeah.
They're just following the tune of whatever's being said by these influencers. Like last year, regardless of how you feel about exclusives, right? All of these big influencers, if you want to play this game, you buy an Xbox Series X. It's exclusive to the Xbox. Exclusives are great. You don't buy Bethesda to not make the games exclusive.
That's true.
And then 5 minutes later, Phil Spencer turns around and says exclusives are bad for the industry, and everyone sings Kumbaya. Throw all of that narrative, all of that storyboarding out the window, and start cheering on that exclusives are bad. Now, don't get me wrong. Exclusives are anti-consumer. There's no denying that, right?
Okay. There we agree. Okay.
But,
fair. Yes. Give me that. Yes.
But at the same time, they can also be pro-consumer. And the way it can be...
Explain it to me.
Because, number one, as a consumer, you want the best games available on your platform. If the game is made for one platform, as opposed to 3 platforms, the game will be tailored better. That's number one. So you're going to get the best version. I've been in game development, trust me. It's so much easier when you're developing to one. I used to work for Sega, Square Enix. It's easier developing games.
But back then, that makes sense because the Sega and the Nintendo weren't the same. But aren't the PS5 and the Xbox Series X almost similar? Aren't they both AMD? Aren't they both? No?
No, their operating systems are different. DirectX doesn't work on PlayStation.
Well, I got to believe you because I'm not a developer. So you're telling me that developing for one console makes it better?
They can tailor it and get the best out of it.
So then we should have been complaining about Xbox because Xbox is not just developing for one console, they're also developing for PC.
Yes. That's always been the problem.
Why is it a problem now, though?
What do you mean?
Yeah, so this exclusivity thing should have been a problem. People should have been complaining about exclusivity being lost to PC.
I have been.
So the only one that I know is I guess a famous one is Crap Gamer. I remember Crap Gamer got mad that freaking what was the game? Quantum Break went to PC. Yeah. So you've been on that. So you've also been on that bandwagon that games shouldn't have gone to PC day and date on Xbox.
Yeah. I've always been there.
Okay.
Because if you want the best experience, you tailor it for one platform, and then you can port it to others at a later time. That's how it works. Okay. But secondly, if you look at the 360 and the PS3 era, where Xbox completely was kicking Sony's ass, that competition is what drove Sony to invest more heavily in their first-party studios and do a fight back. And ultimately, gamers won because there was great games coming from both sides. That wouldn't have happened. If you look at Sony now, where's the fight in Sony? They're getting all those Xbox games. Why do they need to, push their studios to push out games?
No. What hurts Sony, or in my opinion, is not that these Xbox games are going over because that's happening now. Yeah, they should have had things in. They should have had things in the pipeline. They should have had things in the pipeline.
They do. They're just not rushing it anymore.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying that because these games are coming to PlayStation, that's why they're not rushing those games?
Yeah, I mean, why should they?
Okay, but why does that hurt the consumer though? When the consumer is still the PlayStation gamer is still getting games
because they're not getting their first party games. That first party cadence that was coming with the PS3, PS4, those Uncharted's and all the Tilus and whatnot, they're not getting those at the moment.
Oh, but they haven't been getting them this generation. Period. Before this. What did they get this generation?
This generation was fucked anyway.
They got Returnal. Ratchet and
Yeah, I know,
Clank.
but this
They got a new
generation,
Spider-Man.
I mean, this generation started with Severed, right? This generation
I mean,
started off bad anyway.
yeah. So they
It's
haven't
only really
been.
kicked into its stride within the last year.
Yeah, so they haven't been really getting anything anyway.
But they
So
don't have to rush anything. They don't have to push anything.
no, that's my whole thing that I've been telling the Sony ponies is they've never had to rush anything. They've won since the beginning of this generation. They've already been the most popular console.
Yeah,
They've never had to rush anything. They already got the majority of people wanting to be in their ecosystem because their other friends are on it and all that other stuff. Sony never needed that. That's my whole thing that I would argue. And to me, my Forza Horizon 5 proves that exclusives do not move Xbox consoles for sure. The only I keep saying this, the only console that you buy for exclusives is Nintendo. That's it. No one buys a Nintendo thinking about Call of Duty, Fortnite, or anything, or Roblox. Nobody buys a Nintendo for that. When you buy a Nintendo, you specifically buy it for their exclusives. When you buy a PlayStation or an Xbox, you're buying it for the ecosystem and you're buying it for the multiplat.
N-
Bec-
now you are.
yes, you
I mean,
are.
look,
Yes, you are.
look.
Yes, not yes. Now you are. Yes, a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X. Yes, I can agree with you with that. Yep.
When the Series X first launched, it launched really badly because it didn't come out with Halo. We all saw the state Halo was in, and so they
Yeah.
went pretty much a year without no exclusives, and that hurt the
Yeah.
launch. And then Microsoft went into the ABK deal, and with the ABK deal, they had to show themselves as weak as possible. So they pretty much wasn't releasing anything to show themselves as a dominant force. They deliberately did that during the FTC case for 2 years, where they pretty much just didn't release anything, just so they. I mean, you saw all the graphs and stuff that they were showing to the courts,
Yeah.
how they were completely, oh, we're so weak against Sony and all this and all that, and that was all purposefully done to try and push a deal through. And during those years where Xbox gamers waited patiently for the deal to go through, so they can finally start seeing, the true force of Xbox. They kind of patiently waited for those 2 years where Xbox just did nothing really. They just weathered the storm until the deal was, closed. Even though it's still in court at the moment, that's a different matter entirely. And then finally, when they finally settle down to get to have some form of control and everything's gone through, the first thing they do to their fans is, right, we're going multiplat. It's like, okay, buddy.
Yeah, but Chaos, what you and I did? We said, okay, we're going multiplat too.
Yeah, that's why I've always bought all the platforms, just so I
Yep.
don't miss out on anything.
Okay, we're going multiplat too. My whole thing has been that if everybody's going multiplat, right, and everyone's singing Kumbaya, then yes, I would want to buy the console based off of the features that it has, whatever's going to be the best version. I'll give you an example. What type of headsets do you have right now?
Me, I have an Xbox headset. I have
No. What are you wearing right now in your head? Right
this
now,
one.
what are you wearing?
Oh, this
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
Sony one. I'm just using
The
my
Sony-
I'm using the Sony Sense, I think it's called.
Okay, perfect. I'm using my Audio Technica MX50.
Yeah, my
something
kid's
like
using it
that, right?
upstairs my Technica's upstairs.
Okay. I love this headset.
So does
because
he.
of the way it-
That's why I don't ever
because
get
the-
to see it.
because of the way it sounds, the way it fits. It doesn't have active noise canceling, but the way it fits you, like you can't really like. It's just beautiful. The sound is beautiful. Here's the deal, though, right? Regardless, I bought this because of the features it has, the way it sounds. But regardless of what headset I put on, I would still be able to listen to you.
Yeah.
Your voice wouldn't be exclusive to a specific headset. Music wouldn't be exclusive to a specific headset. So the problem that I have is when software is exclusive to hardware. That doesn't make any sense to me. When you have software that is exclusive to hardware, to me does not make any sense to me. I should be buying the hardware based off of what I want and what's going to be better and more beneficial to me. But that's why I don't think exclusivity helped me as a thing. I did see something that Ventura put on the chat, and
Yeah.
it's like a double entendre. Ventura said we was talking about the Wii U, and that's a really good point because the Wii U flopped and it had exclusives.
The
The
Wii U
Wii U had so much great exclusives that Nintendo, when they dropped the Switch, they just re-released those exclusives on it. A lot of people don't know that the launch title for the Switch,
was a Wii U
is
title.
a Wii U. It's a Wii U game,
Mm-hmm.
Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Breath of the Wild on the Switch, okay, before the Switch was even released, outsold it?
Okay.
There was more yes. There was
didn't know
more
that.
copies. There was more people. You can look it up. There was more people that bought Breath of the Wild before they even had a Switch. But why didn't that game do the same thing for the Wii U? So we can't have it both ways.
I don't know. I mean, that's just one console, though, right? How many consoles has exclusives actually helped compared to that one example that everyone keeps bringing up? Did it help the 360 during the 360 days? Yes, it did. Did it help Sony during the PS2 days? Yes, it did. The PS3? Yes, it did. The PS4? Yes, it did. The OG Xbox with Halo and stuff? Did it help it sell? Yes, it did.
So the one
it did. That's why I said it helped. That's how they came back. They fought back in the second half of the generation. That's what competition did.
Oh, I got it. And then that would have made us as a consumer have to buy 2 boxes, and that's good for us.
What I'm saying is, both parties have to play, otherwise one loses. If all parties are not playing ball, if Sony was playing ball and offering some of their games over to Xbox, it wouldn't be any issue whatsoever. But the reality is, because it's a one-way system, that's the problem.
I see which is okay. So you would be okay with everything going everywhere if everything was going everywhere,
right?
If it wasn't just Xbox.
I mean, let's just look at it. Look at it this way. Let me ask you this one question.
Yeah.
What is the Xbox ecosystem?
I would say Game Pass is a huge part of the Xbox ecosystem.
Okay.
The party chat for sure.
No, I'm just talking about platforms.
Platforms wise?
Yeah.
PC, cloud, and Xbox console.
Okay, when you say PC, what do you mean by PC?
The Xbox app.
Right. Not Steam.
I wouldn't consider Steam Xbox platform, no.
Exactly. And the fact that games were on Steam pretty much day one, already threw that whole ecosystem and games going to other platforms out the window already anyway. And that's what I've always said. The fact that games are on Steam, they were already out of the ecosystem. They were out of the ecosystem since the very beginning. Because if they were only in the ecosystem, they would only be on the Xbox app, not on Steam. So them going to other places, to other places, that part there doesn't really bother me. I mean, I've been in the industry for a while and I know how it works. I know the cost of stuff. I can see why certain things are happening. Yeah. But at the same time, it only seems to be Xbox that's making the concessions. And as an Xbox customer, you cannot look at that and say, this is amazing for me as a Xbox owning console fan.
There's only one way you could do that. That's if you start celebrating their corporate victories, which is weird.
Yeah, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that either. Because in reality, I think you and I can both agree what Xbox is doing from a business standpoint does make sense.
Of course.
Right.
100%.
So that's what gets me frustrated is when people try to make videos about me or whatever, and they'll be like, "It's business." I'm like, you idiot. Yes, obviously it's business. Obviously it makes sense. I'm not talking from the business perspective. I'm not getting anything from all the sales that Forza Horizon 5 is about to get on the PS5. I'm not getting anything from that. You know what, Chaos? I'm gonna tell you a little secret.
You're a shareholder, right?
I didn't want to go to PC.
I can see that.
The beginning of this generation, I purposely bought the most powerful console.
Yeah,
I could have gone PC. I could have gone PC before, right?
Yeah.
So all I care about is what's in it for me. So yeah, obviously it makes perfect business sense. So I guess my question to you is this though. So now that Xbox is going to be putting their games on PlayStation, do you think that's going to make PlayStation compete less with their games? Is that what you're saying? Because they don't have to.
Yeah, and I'm already seeing it. I'm seeing the
Okay.
cadence of their. I mean, they were going. When we looked at Sony in the past generation, they were releasing games like big games quite frequently. Now we're going at maybe one game every 2 years, and
Uh-huh.
I'm not. I'm not really. That's not the normal Sony way. But they don't have to be like during the PS3. They caught up with the 360. They worked hard
Yeah.
and they did that. With the PS4, they went out for the kill, and you could see that they were smashing it with the PS4.
Yeah.
Right with the PS5, they've taken the foot off the pedal. Obviously, during the first half of the generation, there was the whole CVID, lack of console, the silicons, and all that. There was a
Yeah.
whole load of trouble. I reckon they shouldn't have even released the next gen consoles during that time, and they should have kept it, at least for another 2 years, kept the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro going. That's my opinion. But right now, I don't see the same hunger from Sony because they
Because
don't
they don't
have
need
to.
it.
They don't need it because
Mm.
they got Papa Xbox feeding them. And as far as Xbox is concerned, yes, they're getting their games over there and they're making money, and that's great for them because from a business perspective, their shareholders are raking in the money. I'm not a shareholder. I don't care what money a $1 trillion company makes. Right? And
So
this is where
it's
I
so it's
say competition, no competition, is hurting.
hurting who? The PlayStation fan base?
Well, just if you like PlayStation games, it's hurting you, yeah. And this is what I don't understand from PlayStation gamers. Why aren't they complaining?
Oh, because they're doing the same thing that Xbox gamers are doing. They're changing the narrative.
Right?
Now it's not about first party exclusives. Now it's just about whatever games comes to their platform. And they are getting all the games. So then it sounds like Sony is doing good because Sony doesn't have to worry as much anymore because Xbox games are going to be feeding them. Xbox is doing good because all Xbox is going to be getting that user base of 75 million. The PlayStation gamer is doing good because they're going to be getting Xbox games and Sony games, even if they're sparse in between. So who's left that's being screwed over? What consumer is left that's being screwed over? Me and you are fine on PC,
Xbox gamers.
the Xbox console gamer. And we're over here trying to save them. We just need like we said, don't save them. They don't want to be saved. Don't save them. Oh, well, I'm sorry. What was that super chat? My
Yeah, let
bad.
me just read it. If the best hardware won gens, then Xbox would have won 3 or 4 of the gens they've been part of. I mean, to be fair, the 360, they pulled the pedal off towards the end because they were moving over to the Xbox One. And that's when Sony overtook by like 1 million consoles after they slowed production down. So, call that what you want. Gens they've been part of, including this one, but it's the zeitgeist that wins gens. Uh, Again, the Xbox One. Thank you for the $5, JD Gamer. The Xbox One generation was screwed. Did you know, for example, Doc? I think I might have told you this before, but maybe not. When Don Matrick got on stage to show off the Xbox One at the time, the very first time, and he showed off Connect.
Yeah.
Sony were in the back waiting for their turn to come on stage, and they saw the reaction to Connect, and they 86 the PlayStation Eye off because they were supposed to come out with the PlayStation Eye for the PS4,
Yeah.
and after they saw the reaction to Connect, they quickly 86 the camera and came out with just the PS4 on its own and a lower price point.
That's smart.
And
That's smart.
Even if you look at some of the stuff that was there during the Xbox One, TV and all this and that, I mean, people are using that now. They were just too early. But the Xbox One era was definitely the one to lose, and Microsoft lost it in emphatic fashion, and Sony went out for the kill. But the reality is, Xbox gamers, in my opinion, are getting the short end of the stick, and I just don't understand why fans of Xbox are accepting it, or they're listening to, other creators who are cheering that Sony gamers are getting to play these games while they're getting nothing.
Chaos. They're gonna kill us for this. I agree with you. But even right now in your chat, I see Sapo. Is that how you say Sapo?
Yes,
Says Sony is in more trouble than what people realize. So what? The PlayStation gamer right now, today, is sitting in a very good place. And that's the only thing I'm saying we should care about. What you're a gamer. You're a gamer. Right? I don't even know if that statement is true because I hear Sony still breaking records and all that other stuff. The question also I saw him ask or her ask is 30% enough for Sony? I mean, if they're not spending money on developing the games, I don't know. I guess I don't know because the biggest cash cows are still multiplayer games that aren't even developed by either Sony or Xbox, right?
I just
The
want to answer
multiplayer
that question. I want to piggyback off that point.
Go ahead.
So I've seen this debate about, Microsoft is getting 70% of all that revenue. Sony's only getting 30%, and I think it's 20% for COD. I'm only basing that off what Jim Ryan said when they asked him, why didn't you sign the original deal? And what made you sign this one? And that's when he said there are deals, and then there are deals, and we just had to sign it. So I think it's actually 20% instead of 30%. But getting past that point, that's a moot point. When Microsoft is getting that 70%, they have development cost,
right,
marketing cost,
right.
They have all sorts of costs, manufacturing of the discs that are physical. All of this is costs that they need to recover before they actually make a profit. Sony's getting that 30% for doing jack shit, and they're using that 30% that they're getting from Xbox to money hack games off Xbox.
Which is crazy work.
Right? They're getting 30% of the revenue for doing nothing. And this is what annoyed me when those interviews were happening. Why wasn't this put forward to Phil Spencer? It's nice that you're getting to... I mean, I think it was in Xbox era when they asked about the 70%. But why didn't you ask about the 30% that they're using to money hack games off your consumers?
Right.
Or what about the games that your consumers aren't getting, like the Wukongs?
Right. I just saw another game apparently on Twitter, some small game that's apparently not coming to Xbox gamers. It's on PC, PS5, and even PS4. And it's like, what the heck?
It's probably
I just saw it today, literally.
It's probably a niche Japanese game.
Probably a J-Dub tweeted out. He always be bothering me.
But that's the thing, right? They're using that 30% to thing. And in regards to the 3 lawsuits that are going on, I'm hoping, one of them is definitely going to go against Sony. And hopefully I'll get some money off that in the UK because I'm part of that lawsuit.
Okay.
I put my name down to it because basically, the whole digital stuff in the UK, Sony doesn't allow anyone to sell their digital games and you can't buy it anywhere else. So if you've bought digital games between a certain period, like Xbox allows you to go to other stores. I can go to a shop and just buy a digital card if I want to of an Xbox game. But here, Sony don't allow it. They dictate everything.
Really?
They monopolized it, yeah. So they were taken to court for that. And I reckon they'll lose that one. There was a couple, and there's 2 other ones. I can't remember what they are, but that one is the one that will stick. There's another one that's with the 30% that Sony got taken to court for, but that applies to everyone. Steam, Xbox, Nintendo, that applies to everyone, that 30%. So it's not just a thing. But if they lose that, it's going to affect and impact everyone. But yeah, that's 70 to 30%. Sony's getting that money, and they're using that money, A, to fund their own games that they're going to keep exclusive, or to money hack other games off Xbox. How is that benefiting the Xbox consumer? That is my number one issue here. Microsoft isn't looking at the Xbox consumer and saying, you are my priority.
Let me fix that statement for you. They're not looking at the Xbox console gamer saying you're my priority. Right now, they see PlayStation gamers as Xbox consumers. They see it that way. They see PC gamers as Xbox consumers. They see it that way. They see cloud gamers as Xbox consumers. They see it that way. It's the console gamer that they're like, you don't matter anymore. You're not enough.
It's a bigger
Which I
pond.
understand. You're not enough. I understand. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
understand
plenty
why
enough
games
right
are
here, my
hard.
belly man.
So I get it, man. I get it, man.
Let me read this super chat.
Oh, brother.
The
Yeah,
problem for Sony is that it's getting harder and harder to money hack these games, especially from the bigger publishers, because it's not worth it. That is true. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say it's all hunky dory for Sony. It's not. Sony has
No.
their own share of problems. You know, they're failing to hold on to these exclusives. Square Enix has pretty much told them that it's not happening anymore. With Final Fantasy VII, whatever the third one is called, probably being the last exclusive that they'll get, or at least timed exclusive anyway. Other companies like Crimson something, I can't remember what it's called. It's from the Black Odyssey, I think. MMO. They came out and said that they outright refused exclusivity from Sony. Sony tried to money hat it, and they said no. Sega have refused money hatting. So, you know, the power that Sony had in the past has definitely diminished, because no matter how you look at it, if you're going to boast you've sold 75 million consoles, which they haven't, by the way, they've shipped 75 million. That is totally different to selling 75 million. Tony might want to be aware of that.
Whoa. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Sony say they've shipped 75 million. That's to retailers and warehouses. That doesn't mean they've sold 75 million. They could tell you exactly how many PlayStation 5s have been activated, but they won't do that because that's probably around the 60 to 65 million, which is still a lot, don't get me wrong.
Oh, that's still a lot. Okay, that's still a lot. Damn, I thought I had something for Tony. Damn. Okay.
Hey, look, Tony still got it wrong, though. He said 75 million sold.
I'm going to have to tell him. Yeah, I'm going to have to tell him.
You're going to have to set him straight.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're looking at 65 million, I expect the way that the PlayStation fans address themselves, they'd be buying more of these games, not with a 1% attach rate. So clearly, the games that are coming out aren't appealing to them either, or they're just not biting until they go down to a hard discount.
Or maybe what I said is correct. Exclusives don't really matter, especially not in today's day and age.
I mean, when
games like Roblox, with games like Fortnite, with games like Call of Duty, I would argue community matters more.
I mean, 16 sold 3 million.
Who?
Final Fantasy 16 sold 3 million alone on PS5.
That's awesome. How much did COD sell on PS5?
I don't know. I actually genuinely don't know.
No, I don't even need to know. I know it's way more than that. It's not even comparable.
But you're talking about one of the biggest games in the world.
Not just that one though. There's multiple examples of games that are destroying exclusive games. Multiple. That's what I'm saying. Like, the exclusivity thing might have mattered. Maybe I'll give you the 360 era when we
Should I tell you why it matters?
When we didn't have one stuff, but go ahead, say again.
Should I tell you why it matters?
Go ahead, tell me why.
Okay, let's say for example, you are a Final Fantasy fan.
Yes.
And you really want to play Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
The only way for you to play it is to buy a PS5. I know it's available on PC now, but I'm just saying at launch.
Yeah.
There was no plans to release Final Fantasy 7 anywhere else or 16 anywhere else. That would be the only place for you to buy it. The idea is for you to get into their ecosystem, into their platform. And that's what once you're in that platform, their platform then prospers. If the platform prospers, they gain more power, they get more exclusives, they sell more consoles, they get more attractive games coming towards them. But like I said, it is anti-consumer. I'm not going to deny that. But the pro-consumer side of things is the competition that it brings. Because it just makes the other side work harder to give you better games.
So do you think Xbox is going to work harder now to put more, since they're putting games on PlayStation?
No.
Oh, so games are just going to get worse, period.
I think they're just going to stay the way they are. They've got if you look at the Xbox games, they've kind of got a certain set of quality that goes on them. And that's good enough.
Taxed. Okay.
And, the fact that they have to develop for PC, the Series S, the Series X, already. That's like, I mean, if you look at PC, that's like what 5 SKUs on its own with the different settings.
It's chaos. We've already talked a lot of trash about Xbox consoles. Let's not go into the Series S. Let's leave that one alone for another day, please. My channel would not survive that. Okay, do
I'm
not do
not
that to me.
talking
Okay,
trash
leave
though.
the Series S
I'm just
alone.
saying.
Leave the Series S alone. Okay, that's probably the one console Xbox got that actually does make sense. Okay,
I like the Series S.
yes, for $250 today, you could play next gen games. That's impressive.
Dude, when I got that for my
Um,
son's birthday, he was over the moon. And, he didn't care about none of this 60 FPS or anything. He just
yeah.
had the next generation console, the Series S. He took it to his room. And then he bought a 3070 NVIDIA graphics card. And then
Let me tell you, man, the
that's
Series
that.
S
That was,
gamer that's playing COD, NBA 2K, freaking Fortnite, Roblox, and has Game Pass, they're chilling. That doesn't watch any of this stuff. Oh man, they're loving life, man.
oh, yeah.
They're loving
I
life.
mean,
Let me ask.
it's 200 quid, right? It's like super cheap.
Yeah, let me ask you something. Now I gotta start getting ready to head out of here, brother. But let me ask you. I saw something in the chat I thought was good. Do you think if Sony puts games on PC day and date, that PlayStation gamers will leave?
Puerto Rock better because he promised he would.
That's what Porter Rock said. Yeah, Big Bro said that. I warned him about saying that, but he wanted to say.
No, I don't
I
think
don't think they will.
I don't think they will. No.
I don't think they will either.
I
I
mean,
don't think they will either.
I think honestly, this is the way I see it. Console gamers are engraved to console. They don't want to mess around. They've got this whole, I don't want to call it a phobia, but maybe a bad stigma when it comes to PC gaming. They just want to put the game on and it works and they're happy with it. I don't see them.
That's very true.
I don't see them moving. I think some will.
Yeah.
I think some will move over. But with the prices of the graphics cards at the moment, it's what I said the other day. Nvidia is doing a bang up job in giving people plenty of reasons to stay in console gaming, especially with their prices and their screwed up 50 series launch. They're giving console gamers a plethora of reasons to actually remain console. But I think that if they actually did go day and date with PC, yes, I think if they, let's just let's say it's 65 million now, maybe they would have sold 60 million or maybe 55 million consoles. But I think that's an exaggeration. We'll probably be about 58 at max, right? At the worst case. But the amount of money that would be coming in to them to fund more games would benefit them more in the long run. To the ones that stayed console only.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. I agree with you. I don't think many would leave. And you're right. What's going on right now in PC gaming, especially with the new graphics cards, the Nvidia at least. We'll see how AMD does. I think the 9070 releases on the 6th. But yeah, man, it is making it look, like it might be better to stay on console for just now. We'll see.
Just going to read these quick super chats.
Yeah,
the problem for Sony is that it's getting harder and harder to money hack these guys. Oh, I've already read that one. JD Gamer again. I would argue that the console gamer is definitely a priority, but only because that's where bulk of Game Pass subscribers are, and it's why there's another Xbox coming and why they support it. Actually, I'm going to answer that in a bit more detail.
I can agree with that, though.
It's true. The reason why Microsoft right now, I mean, in my opinion, like honestly, if they could wash their hands with the console, they absolutely would. But the reason why they can't do that is because I'd say 80% of their Game Pass subscriptions that they're getting that $5-6 billion from revenue each year is tied to the console. Ain't no company out there about to throw away $5-6 billion, and that's growing at the moment. So by the time the next generation console comes, which it is coming as we've seen, they're already building COD on the next, gen development kits, you're looking at
Yep.
potentially up to $8 billion a year. That's a lot of money. Right? No company is
Yeah.
going to throw that away, and that is why they are not going to stop supporting the console for monetary reasons. It's business. You just don't throw it out.
I agree with what JD Gamer said. I agree as well with what you said. Yeah, it just makes sense. Most Game Pass subscribers, I would guess,
It's from the
are
console.
also on the console.
It has to
So
be.
now let me ask you guys this now, right? Because when we say Game Pass, we're talking about Series S and X, right?
Mm-hmm.
This next gen console,
Mm-hmm.
these games that are coming out on the next gen console,
Yep.
are they also going to support the Series S?
Aha. That's the big enigma, right? Because if it does, then it's going to be a waste.
Stop saying it. My channel won't survive. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop
Look,
it.
my chat already knows the lowest.
It's not our fight. It's not our fight. Never mind. I'm so
The
sorry. I asked
lowest,
that question.
the lowest denominator will always be the problem, and I keep going back to
It's
Horizon.
not our fight, Chaos. I'm trying to grow my channel. Stop it. Stop it.
I keep going back to Insomniac with what they said about Horizon, where because they had to develop for the game cross-gen and put it on the PS4 as well, they had to cut features because the PS4 memory simply wasn't capable of running it. They couldn't actually get it working. And so they had to remove features that they really wanted to put in there. And they had a whole documentary talking about it. And they were saying, like, if the game was only next-gen only, that would have been thing. But you'll be pleased to know that COD 2025 will be on Xbox One and PS4. So it will be supporting the base model of the Xbox One and the base model of the PS4. But the 2026 COD, the one that's supposed to be going next gen, has already potentially leaked, confirmed, take that as you will be supporting this generation. So that includes the Series S and X. That's COD though. At least COD isn't that demanding of a game.
Yeah. It scales pretty well, right?
Yeah.
So, because I'll be honest, your COD now still looks good, right?
It does.
So, it's a good-looking game, so it is what it is. I want to ask you one last question since you've dabbled in development.
Okay.
And then I gotta head out of here if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
Can they get rid of Unreal Engine 5?
What do you mean? Just not use it?
From what I've seen, this engine is horrible. I don't know what they thought it was going to do.
They don't have to. Okay, so the reason why Microsoft is using Unreal Engine 5 is because of their hiring policies, believe it or not. So Microsoft probably would have continued to use their own proprietary systems, but Microsoft has a hiring policy, which is stupid, they should change it, that they can only employ a freelancer for 18 months. And then for 6 months after that, they can't bring them back. And then after that, they can bring them back in. The problem is, the average person takes between 3 to 6 months to be onboarded with these proprietary development kits. So when you're bringing someone in for 18 months, you're already losing like up to a third of your time just onboarding these new people. So they're paying people a year and a half salary, but they're only getting a year's work out of them. And then they leave, and then they get a green person coming in who hasn't ever used it, but knows the language. And then they have to do that whole onboarding process. And it's not just the person that has to onboard, but you've got other people that are onboarding them as well. It's their hiring policies that is forcing Microsoft to use Unreal Engine 5, because Unreal Engine is a universal platform that pretty much everyone kind of knows, right? Every developer is going to have experience in Unreal. So yes, they can get rid of Unreal Engine. They just need to have better hiring policies so they don't have to feel like they have to do that. Because if they could just keep the same freelancers on throughout the whole of the project, the games would come out. I mean, this is one of the big reasons why Xbox games get delayed or pushed back or have a longer life cycle, development cycle. Because they lose an enormous amount of time, years worth of time, just by changing stuff through mid-project, which is never good, right?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
That's never good. But yeah, Unreal Engine 5
I,
is a massive problem.
I got some advice for you and I before we head out of here. Before I head out of here, I I admire what you're doing, Chaos, because I'm doing it as well. But I really think that it's no longer our place to talk for the Xbox console owners. I think whenever we try to say something, they attack us or stay in denial or change the narrative. And it's disheartening and it hurts, I'll be honest with you. Because I was once a Xbox console owner that only wanted to play on the Xbox console. Now those issues that I see that the Xbox console was having, those same people tell me, "Why you care? You're on PC now."
I still
Touche.
care.
I agree. Right. I'm just letting you know. Going forward, I'm going to try my hardest not to care. I'll grit my teeth in the back, and I'll just feel sorry for them from afar. But it is what it is, brother.
No,
It
I
is
get
what it
that.
is, man.
And it's just the way my position is, I've got a platform, and I know some people aren't fighting in, don't, what's the right word? Maybe they want to fight, but they just feel like they can't get their opinion out.
Yeah.
And I can see from their perspective, just like you can. And so, because I have a platform that can do that, that's why I feel obligated to do it, if that makes sense. But I get totally where you're coming from. I mean, I get
Oh,
murdered on X almost on a
I see
daily
what you're saying.
basis.
You're the voice of the people. I see what you're saying.
I'm the
Oh,
I'm
that's
the
good.
rebel.
Oh, Chaos, that's good. You're the voice of the people.
I'm a
Oh,
proper rebel, but I get murdered on X on a daily basis by Xbox fans just because I have an opinion that's not following the kumbaya. It is what it is. I fight the good fight.
yep. Yep.
But
All right,
Doc,
brother. Wait.
where can they
Yeah.
find you, man?
Oh, thank you, man. So, you guys can find me on YouTube, DocDark1985. You can find me on Twitch, DocDark1985. On X, same thing, DocDark1985. I've been lucky to be one of those people that has the same handle on everything. You can find me on Xbox as well, same thing, DocDark1985, Steam, and PlayStation. I don't really play on PlayStation to be honest with you, but I am on there as well. And then yeah, I just don't really play on PlayStation. So it is what it is. But who knows? They keep enhancing games over there.
Get out of here, man.
Let me stop. I'm not gonna survive. Oh no. Okay. Hey, edit that chaos. Edit that. Take that part
Get
out.
out of here, man.
Oh man. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I thank you for having me on. Shout out to the chat. I appreciate you guys. One last thing I'm gonna say is I for those people that haven't watched my channel or anything like that, I do enjoy the console war. I am one of those people with gray in their beards, right? Old man, whatever, that does enjoy the console war. So I like to have fun on my channel. I don't take none of this stuff serious. So if you come watch one
Nah.
of my videos, just realize, regardless of how I'm acting on the camera, trust me, I turn off that camera and I'm laughing at my own videos. I'm having fun with it. Okay. So it is what it is. So peace out. Chaos, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man.
No worries, man. Thanks for coming on.
All right.
Right. That was a fun conversation. I did see a super chat in there. Let me read this super chat. They will still support the Xbox X and S, but how they support it may differ from what we see today, and LCD hasn't prevented PC from looking good ever. LCD? I mean, are we talking LCD TVs? Thank you for the $5 super chat. No. I think when it comes to COD, they are definitely going to just continue this. I mean, COD is one of those games that I think kind of benefits from that sort of thing. It makes sense for them to have that level of support. I don't know if they're going to, if the companies out there going forward will still do that once the next generation hardware comes out. It really depends on how many they're going to sell. You owe me £2, Chaos? What for? But yeah, Doc was awesome. Shame we didn't see Tony, and I need to get Tony on next time. Tony the Pony. Yeah, the lowest common denominator will always be the one that thing. Look at Discord. What happened on Discord? Wait, you sent a £2 super chat? It didn't appear. Did you put a comment? I didn't see it pop up either. Interesting. Let me see if it's over here. No. It will probably be refunded. It'll probably be refunded, dude. I remember Viper did the same thing, and something went wrong, and they refunded it to him. You had the perfect insult too. Let me see if I go into my my settings. One sec. Because I do remember something similar happened to Viper. And when he thing, yeah, it didn't go through, so you're gonna get that money refunded. The only ones that came through were testing in JD Gamer, so that money will be refunded. It will go back into your account. Ah. But yeah, I've been trying to get He was paying in tears. Yeah, I've been trying to get him on the thing, on the show for ages. If the stars finally. This is why I was trying to get him on the Saturday, but the stars finally aligned and it worked out. So I'm really happy. But the next Xbox could be coming 2026. What do you all think about that? Steve, it gets auto refunded. You don't do anything. It's auto getting refunded. Let's see. Screen share. Let's share this one because I thought this was quite cool, right? Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 is dropping to Game Pass, and you are going to be able to play as Doomslayer off the bat. Well, it's part of the deluxe edition. The cost of your time and thing? Well, let's just chalk that up to the chaos tax. Charge back your super. Don't be. Quick, ban Woodpit. Ban him. Off. No, I'm just kidding. You have your doubts on 2026? Why? I mean, Gears is coming at 2026. E-Day. Right? So this is the actual Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. That's the Doomslayer skin. You've got the Revenant Skater. You've got the hoverboard. Pretty cool stuff. It's going to be interesting to see what the hardware is, user for games, because I'm interested to see what the hardware will deliver. Are they going to... I mean, it's all going to be based on price point and whatnot. Has anyone seen that new tablet from Asus? It's like $2,000 at the moment, but it's basically just a tablet, really thin, but it can run Monster Hunter on ultra settings at above 60 FPS. So they're getting there. They're getting there. So in terms of what they can actually deliver for the right price point, it's going to be interesting. But I do think that the hardware will be important. You know, they need to get the hardware right. I also think that they truly haven't, and this is just my opinion, I don't think they've hit nowhere near what the Series X is capable of. I think there is still way more for them to milk out of it. Whether they will or not is a different matter. But I just don't feel that they have actually reached the true potential of the Series X yet. The S they have, clearly. But I think there is still quite a bit more juice in the X that we're not seeing. Ventura, yeah, that's the one. Let me bring it up. But yeah, so Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is coming day one to Game Pass. That has to be cool, right? All right. Yes, it is. Let me show you. I've actually got proof of it. Is this the one? Here we go. Guess what's rolling up to Game Pass? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 coming day one. So, you know, it is definitely coming to Game Pass. Hey, still, this remaster is in day one. David Miller, I saw Colt's tweet about that, where it's been 500 days. Here's my personal opinion on it. I don't think they're ever going to come. I think they're going to drip feed one maybe every year, and that's it. But I just don't see them dropping all of those Activision games at this point. I just don't see it. They still make money. I think someone posted that Call of Duty Black Ops 2? Or was it Modern Warfare 2? One of the... It's an old game. It's an old COD. It's still selling for like $50 on Steam. I just don't see it. They're still selling. And I don't see them releasing them. Not in the way people are expecting. Yes, Steve, it is day one. I know you can't believe it, but it is what it is. It's coming day one. All right. You're a bit more optimistic than me, Steve. I just don't think it will be. Like I said, you'll see like one game a year that they're going to release, but that's really it. I don't see much more than that, honestly. I did Ventura, and I'm actually looking into how I can actually do it myself. I'm still trying to figure it out, but this is actually really cool. You can basically get your 360 games and turn them into native PC ports, which it's crazy how Microsoft didn't do this themselves, though. From my understanding, there's a whole licensing issue to go with this, and Nvidia wanted a lot of money from Microsoft, which prevented them from porting a lot more of those games over to the Xbox consoles. I don't know. I don't actually know how it works because you have to have the original disc, and you basically recompile it with the original disc in tow. So you're going to need a disc drive as well. And well, no one has a disc drive these days on their PC, so that's already a red flag for many. But the fact that they're doing this is really damn cool, and I've seen some footage of it, and it looks awesome. Atomfall is coming end of this month. Has that been confirmed? Mecha Break. The game that is completely based, that all the activists are trying to get cancelled. Has that actually come to Xbox yet? Okay, it's available now finally on Xbox. Go try it out, guys. It's pretty fun. Just I know you're going to spend a lot of time on the actual thing. I'm not seeing anything about Atomfall. Oh, cool. I'll have a look. Ridge Racer's potentially coming. I don't know how many of you are Ridge Racer fans. I'm a huge Ridge Racer fan. I love Ridge Racer. Apparently, Soul Calibur, among other games, are going to be licensed out to other companies to build the games. This is, I don't know. I was super giddy when I saw this. This is insane, insane! I tell you. I am super pumped for that. I'm the same, Susano. It's such a good IP. I just whoever makes it, I don't care. I just want more. It's a Ridge Racer is such a good game, except for the latest one. That's free to play. That one's bad. It's very bad. But in regards to your comment about Call of Duty, we have some information on this. So, exclusive details for Modern Warfare 4 2026. No old gen support, which is what I was saying earlier with Doc Dark. Traditional UI like older games, more traditional than Black Ops 6. Engine being overhauled to address Modern Warfare 2 problems like visual clutter. Being developed on dev kits for next Xbox. No Warzone 3 if Verdansk fails to retain current returning players. That kind of makes sense to me. If there's no demand for Warzone and it's a dying, piece of content, then at that point it's going to no longer be a thing, right? There's no point in them pushing on ahead if no one's really going to be playing it, which is a shame. The rider you missed Doc quite some time ago. He's already gone. Look, Steve. Okay, when we said it doesn't matter who makes it, we do actually care. We do actually care, to some degree. Does this guy know that Doc isn't here? But it would be nice to have the COD games over here on Game Pass. Not sure if they will, but it'd be nice. Atomfall. A look at the deluxe and standard editions. All right. So this is the standard edition. You get a exclusive melee weapon variant. How cool is that? A recipe and a loot box. March 27th isn't that far away. Oh, what? This game is coming for Xbox One? Holy sh... Xbox One! No hate to the people that are still on Xbox One, power to you, but unless they're literally building two versions of the same game, which I doubt they will because that's very costly, this game is going to be held back so much by the old hardware. I'm really hoping that they are two separate games, like two separate versions of the games, and not built off the same thing. That would truly suck. I get that, David, but that is literally just crippling the game's potential. So the deluxe edition gives you the expansion, and then you get the basic supply bundle, and then you get the enhanced supply bundle, a weapon variant, a manual, and a metal detector skin. Oh, and you get 3 days early access. I think it is a survival game, which is basically me out. Ventura, the Hogwarts Legacy was built with two different SKUs for that game. It wasn't built on the same SKU, which makes it okay. Because technically they're two different games. If they were built on the same SKU, then that would be a problem. But because they're built on two separate SKUs, then it wasn't a problem with Hogwarts Legacy. Why does the game have loot boxes? So you can pay money. Which is what I said, Ventura. I mean, Power, that rumor has been going around for 3 years now, right? That rumor is not going to go away until it becomes a reality. No worries, Ventura. No worries at all. Man, Monster Hunter Wilds has proved that no matter how rough a game launches or how many bugs it might have, if you make a good game, it's going to sell 8 million copies. Okay, well, the last part isn't technically true, but at least it'll do well. 8 million copies in 3 days is crazy. Yeah, Power Boss, it was in my video today. The one that I released earlier today. Wait, didn't you say Gears Pop was trash? Apparently, someone's released a DLL file that you can use, that you basically replace, and it fixes the whole game. So, go get that DLL file, pop it into your directory, and it fixes Monster Hunter. From the stuttering, to the frame rate, to the overutilization of the CPU, to the whole works. It just fixes the game. So, one file fixes everything. Your situational disabilities are being loud. Oh no. We're going down this route again. I think people are being harsh with Monster Hunter Wilds though. I think they're being quite harsh with it. I've been seeing some really, really bad takes on it. Like one of them is like, oh, this plays like Monster Hunter. I was expecting more. I'm like, what are you even saying at this point? Like, I'm like, come on. You're complaining that it plays like Monster Hunter. So why haven't they fixed it already? And it gives a 20 FPS boost? Nice. Either way, I'm probably going to jump into it at some point. Scalebound is around. It looks like, Hideki Kamiya wants to continue making it. He wants Phil to agree so they can come back and remake it. It's been a game that they've wanted to do, and it looks like they've actually got a prototype in place to show Xbox again, but I think Phil should say yes. I mean, he's going to make it multi-platform, obviously, but Scalebound has been a game that a lot of people were looking forward to, and it could be, I guess, the next Devil May Cry series. I think it has a lot of potential. Platinum Games. I would assume it's going to be Platinum anyway. What, of Scalebound? I mean, the old gameplay is that's old, man. It would have changed. I did hear something about that, John. By the way, who remembers a company called Acclaim? Apparently, they're back. They're a publisher. The publisher's initial goals are to support indie developers, reignite classic franchises, providing funding, marketing, and PC support to indie studios. I remember them from years ago, man. It's an iconic name. Oh, I guess Clover is their new name now? Either way, I think Phil should actually take them on board and do it. They're not apparently doing anything. They've kind of brought this studio back with a publishing company back to just support indie companies. But yeah, this was a blast from the past, man. I remember Acclaim from a long time ago. Like, I mean, long time ago. There's Oreo for us all. Crying again. Well, not really crying, but he's off again. He's off to the races. You know what? We're talking about Scalebound, right? A little while, just a few seconds ago. And I come across this. It just made me laugh. I don't know why this all made me laugh, but it did. I don't know, this just made me laugh. Are there any Dying Light fans here? Apparently there's a new trailer for the Beast map. And the location is actually hidden in the trailer and no one has found it apparently. Yeah, they released a trailer and they hid the actual location of where the beast's something is, I guess, the map location, in the actual trailer, and no one's actually found it. Oh, it's been found? Finally. So, Split Fiction. Anyone heard of Split Fiction? It's finally, reviews are out, and it's got a 91 Metacritic. Yeah, it's basically like It Takes Two. It's from the same studio. They've released another banger of a game. Unlike unlike these guys who claim that the 5070 is a 4090 performance. This was a bad time for him, man. This was a bad time for Jensen to think that the 5070 gives the same performance as a 4090. This was probably not the hill that he wanted to rest on. Even with multi-frame Jane, I was watching reviews today. It's not very good. It stutters everywhere. It's spiking all over the place. It's so unstable. It just cannot. It's not going to give you the 4090 performance. It's just factually incorrect. Hey, Diego, how's it going? Oh, is it 92? Nice. I mean, Nvidia right now only care about AI, right? That's their main focus now. Because now people are actually getting the chance to test these properly. They're being sent, review graphics cards for the 4070 FE and the 4070 Ti. So they're finally able to get to the nitty gritty and actually review them. And so a lot is being said about it. Steve is going to be eternally looking. Probably till summer. Say misdirection to be nice. But yeah, Nvidia now, especially with their graphics cards, are more interested in providing for big corpos with the push for AI because they'll just make a lot more money that way. It's also why you've seen the prices of their cards inflate so much because they can get away with it because the big corpos will pay for it. And I find their interest in gaming for them on their graphics cards is no longer the main priority. It's all about AI, and that's where they're pushing. And it is what it is. You'll get one, Steve. I have faith that you'll get one. Maybe. One day. I don't know why you want a 5090, but apparently you want one. But D-Batch here says, to those still thinking the next Xbox is 2728, you are wrong. Phil has publicly said the plans from leaked documents have changed. The next Xbox was mentioned 2 years ago now by Xbox. You think it's 2 or 3 years away still? It's holiday 2026. There you have it, folks. It is confirmed from D-Batch that the next Xbox is coming 2026 holiday, Christmas time. That's why you should just send it to me, Steve, once you've got your 5090. You don't want none of that old trash in your house. Right? You want the new stuff in your house, the new 5090. So you should just send me the 4090. Power Boss. When it comes to Steve, it's the top end or nothing. It's literally the best of the best or nada, and he will go best of the best. You want my 3090? Unfortunately, there's two kids at home that want my 3090. I may have a 2080 spare though. The two boys are deciding which one of them get the 3090. Once my eventual upgrade. I mean, the 9070 is equivalent. Well, we're going to see the reviews tomorrow, right? That's when they're landing. But from what I've seen, it's equivalent to the 5070 Ti. So there's that. But yeah, Mr. Batch is a thing. He's confirming it's coming to your homes in 2026. Probably not Woodpit, but who cares about optimization? We just want the new and shiny, right? Vertigo, I would say that's probably a safe bet. 600-700, I'd say minimum. I just think they just had a bad launch. They had a really bad launch, lack of supply, and they never really got off the ground. Now they've got a cadence of games coming. You're looking at, COD in 26. You're looking at Blade. You're looking at Gears of War. You're looking at Fable. You're looking at a bunch of other games, right? That are potentially all landing in time for the launch of the next Xbox. It should be its best launch ever, really. And if they decide to make those games timed, like any smart business would do, if they want to sell the console, I mean, you'll know by then if they want to sell the console. If they want to sell the console, they'll at least make those games timed exclusive. So those that want to play it over the holidays or don't want to wait a year or whatever the period is, they will be forced to buy an Xbox or play it on PC. To be fair, it's been by 26. It will be 6 years. With the way technology is moving, 6 years is plenty of time. I don't see the hardware lasting 8 years. That would be something, David. That would truly be something. Chris, you mean cross gen, right? Hey, Paul. But yeah, Vertigo, as Steve said. I guess we'll see on what the adoption is. I don't think it'll be as lucrative as they think it will be. But time will tell. Time will tell. But did someone in the... Oh, it is actually a thing, right? So the new update for Final Fantasy 16 does actually get rid of Denuvo. That's funny. Denuvo was crippling Final Fantasy 16. It's good that they got rid of it. Which leaks are you on about, Power? Yeah, apparently Final Fantasy 16 has gotten rid of Denuvo as of patch 1.03. And it's now available to download. This update addresses several issues, including graphical display bugs and textual errors. Hey, Paul, my condolences, dude. I'm sorry to hear sorry about your loss, and never apologize, dude. I keep telling you, but you keep apologizing. Never apologize. 26 is so far the date that everyone keeps saying. Maybe you've already downloaded it. I'm not sure. The high seas will be busy. I mean, they were busy from before anyway, I think. It was already cracked and released ages ago. For all the Denuvo can't be cracked, I'm pretty sure I saw it cracked already. Devastator? Date for what? What do you mean? Hey, anonymous boss. Oh, I've been saying Gears is releasing in 2026 since I first heard it. But I'm just saying it to piss off Steve. But I said it from ages ago. Ain't no way that anyone's taking that credit from me. I called that shit out first, even if it was to piss someone off. They're not actually limiting Fortnite, if I understand correctly. They're just limiting the free time. They're offering a free tier. And they're giving you a limited amount of time that you can use the free tier per time you play. And I think people ran off with that and Fortnite. Indeed it is. Well, Trump, anything else you want to talk about, discuss? We've spoken about the next Xbox. We've spoken about the cool stuff coming and going, the Tony Hawks and whatnot. Had a good discussion with Doc Dark as well, even though people came in late and still thought I was talking to him, which was just weird. Marathon. Ah, Marathon. Yes. I remember you talking about Marathon. I saw that somewhere here. So this one is actually quite interesting. So it seems Sony has learned absolutely nothing from Concord. So Marathon is actually going to be a paid product. And in order to entice people to buy Marathon, they are adding DLC for Destiny 2 with Marathon purchases. Oh, really, Paul? That's cool. But yeah, as you can see here, looking at the linked apps these new packages have, these two packages seem to be 2 extra editions of the game. Will sell, are coming with every edition of the game. They could be pre-order bonus DLCs. These 2 are DLCs for the Extra and Extra Plus Plus editions. There's a DLC for the Extra Plus Plus edition. Is DLC for the Destiny 2 that's coming with every edition. That's the base. But it is paid for. You'd think they would have learned their lesson, especially with the amount of extraction shooters out there. You want to make sure you can actually, kind of get into it. I guess they believe in their game a lot. They're going to charge money for it. Oh, David, unless you're talking about Bungie, whichever one what company you're talking about that shut down? Chris, tell that to games like Genshin Impact, which are making over $1 million a month. Money that these single player games wish they could make a month. Oh, they're long gone, David. They're long gone. I think they're just a shell of what they were now. They're just Bungie by name, but even that's gonna soon change. Yeah, I just think they're stupid for selling it. It should go straight into PS Plus, and they should try and get as many people into it as humanly possible. They've got microtransactions in the game. Monetize it that way. The game is going to live and die by the number of players. I mean, it's a Sony game. I don't see them putting it on Game Pass. But it could go on Game Pass. But it is Sony's game, which is why I said PSN. And if they want the money bag off Microsoft, then why not? Devastator, what have you sent me? What is this and how long is it?
I did a video.
Alright. I can check this one out. We can react to this one and then I'll call it a night. I thought it was going to be one of those crazy ones you sent me last time, because that one was mental. That one did demonetize me instantly. Alright, let's check this one out. It is called Doom has a fan problem. I don't really understand why it's called a fan problem, but let's see what it has to say. Where is what I'm looking for? Alright, let's check it out.
Midweek trying to explain why being a fan is a bad idea, because it tends to make people act like lunatics. It was about an upcoming Doom game. I saw a trailer for it that made it look good to me last year. I really liked that trailer. Then the developers had released another video about the game, and for a number of reasons I liked the look of that a lot less. It left...
Is this AI? Is this like a voice, automated voice talking, or is this a real person?
me worried. But in response, I got this helpful criticism.
What the f does this even mean? You can't be a fan of something. I'm sorry, I'm pausing the video. I'm gonna let you explain yourself, but if you don't give me a good explanation, I'm gonna f***ing explode or something. I'm gonna pour gasoline on myself. I'm holding a lighter currently, and I swear to f***ing God.
What?
Oh, if it's not a valid reason, I'm going to drop the lighter.
Yeah, sounds like a reasonable man. Open to negotiation. They then tried to explain how they're a fan, and how being a fan was very different from being a fanatic, but I'm not sure if they put the lighter down first. Boy, they sure showed me, and he has problems with the strangest things in my video. Like when I said I liked Beethoven.
I mean, he really just had to point out that he liked the music of Beethoven. Wait, can you pronounce that again for me?
I like the music of Beethoven.
What the f*** is a Beethoven? Holy I'm gonna freak out. Did you, like, forget to pronounce the T?
That was his takeaway from that. Oh, he's trying to lord his superior intellect over us. Ooh, get him. He likes the music of Beethoven.
What the hell are we listening to, Devastator?
Just a throwaway remark. I just came up with a list of things I liked on the fly, and that came to mind. Beethoven's Ninth Symphony is lovely. You, not so much. Seriously, that's a problem for you, that you didn't hear a strong enough T sound when I said Beethoven, a T sound that was there. The subtitles pick it up well enough even in your video. The amount of time I will get a criticism that leaves me thinking the other person is not even being honest about where their real problem is.
Brick, apparently it's hit 500 million in 3 days in revenue. Sounds like a real person to you? I don't even know what we're listening to. This sounds so moronic. It's 5 minutes long and it sounds like I've been listening to it for 10 minutes already.
Because I don't believe your issue really is a small GIF in the bottom right hand corner that takes up maybe 5% of the screen. When you tried to tell me in my comment sections that GIF of a pretty happy lady dancing right in the bottom right hand corner of the screen just ruined the entire video for you, and you couldn't look at anything else the entire time, and you couldn't listen to anything in it that I said because of that GIF, I don't believe you. I don't believe that tiny GIF made you angry enough to post a comment raging about it. And when you say your problem is you don't think I even finished Doom 2016 and that's your problem, so you don't have to listen to anything in the video, I also don't believe you. I also did finish it multiple times. When you say your problem is that the game footage is too low resolution, or the problem is my accent, or the problem is the game I'm playing is too old, I don't believe you. Also, when people try to manipulate me and say, oh, your video is really bad,
what on earth is this?
You should take it down and change it for your own benefit. I don't believe you. You clearly don't care about my welfare in any way. You don't even know me. And I get the distinct impression you're just trying to manipulate me. It happens a lot, and it's as tedious as it is annoying. Yep, all totally normal. All of this behaviour, all totally normal, and you aren't acting like a crazy basket case at all. I also got this larger channel attacking my criticism of Doom the Dark Ages, which is quite the feat, as that wasn't even what my video was. I can't criticise Doom the Dark Ages, it isn't out yet. I even said what the purpose of the video was in the video, and you still somehow didn't get it. I also really like their thumbnails, which seem to be a very efficient combination of an ad hominem attack, strawman, and poisoning the well all at once. When the video hasn't even started and you've already put words in my mouth, there frankly isn't much hope for you. They criticised the resolution of my game.
Is anyone getting the impression that he's really upset with this klutzy guy? Essentially, he said Doom Dark Ages is bad because he didn't like teaser and he lost it because people disagreed with him.
Play footage. Then they accused me of doing a Dark Side Phil, who was a guy that I criticised for saying the whole Doom franchise sucks now because they made a medieval Doom and wrote the game off before he even watched the trailer. So yeah,
Thank you for the
exactly
$5
the same
super
thing. Well done.
chat, dude.
I'm clearly dealing with a Mensa member over here. DSP wrote it off without even watching the first trailer. I got concerned it may be bad after watching the entire 10-minute video from the developers. So I listened to that non-argument, then I turned their video off. I gave it 5 minutes, and if this is seriously the quality of what you're going to be arguing, I'm not watching the rest of your half-hour video or your separate God only knows how long livestream video, because I don't think there's anything that anybody's going to gain by me doing that. This is coming from someone whose banner professes them to be the #1 brand in honesty. Good job on that, champ. And I think that's altogether enough interaction with people online for today.
Why is this guy losing it so much?
Information from YouTube now, because you come off like you have a screw loose. To the extent I can't help but think
he sounds like he's got a screw loose. He sounds like he's got a screw loose. What about you?
When they closed the asylums.
Nope. That was interesting. For all the wrong reasons, but it was interesting. There you go, Susanna. There's the update. Well, chat, with that, I think it's time for me to go and try and figure out what life actually means, because I don't know where you find these videos. I don't know where you find them. I don't know. Maybe you're a magnet to these type of videos. I don't know what it is, but that's special. I am sleepy. What, another one? We'll leave that for Thursday. I am going to call the stream there because I am generally quite tired. Been up since 7 o'clock. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone who hung out today. I hope you enjoyed the discussion between me and Doc. I'm going to try and get more people on for Tuesdays. I'm on Thursdays with Chili, but on Tuesdays I'm going to try and get more people on to have these discussions around Xbox, and you know, they won't all be like the ones we had today. I knew Doc was going to be a bit more controversial, but you know, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for all the super chats, and I really appreciate it. Steve, you'll get your $2 refunded to you. Don't worry, it's going to be put back into your account. In return, I hope you honor your deal. £2 for a 4090. That was the deal. So hopefully you'll honor that. And I will see you all, if not tomorrow over on Twitch, I will see you on Thursday back here at the same time. Have an awesome night, everyone, and I will see you all soon. You should have sent me a DM or something, dude. Next time. Have a good one, and thanks so much for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it. Peace out, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell to update all content I release. And don't forget to share. I'm out. Thursday Devastator. I'll check those out on Thursday.